It's a topic that cannot be overemphasized.
Ladies and gentlemen, road safety is everyone's business.
That's right. Each and every one of us has a role to play. Stay tuned for highlights of the launch of Road Safety Month. Plus, the benefits of auto insurance. I'm Adrian Atkins, and those and other interesting features in this Friday edition of Jamaica Magazine.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Friday, June 5. The National Security Minister has commended those members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, who ensure the safety and security of the country during protest action by some of their colleagues. In a statement yesterday, Minister Peter Bunting described their actions as selfless and honorable, befitting the new type of policing that is being practiced by the JCF. He also thanked members of the Jamaica Defence Force for working with the police to ensure adequate security across the nation over the past few days. The National Security Minister has also welcomed the decision of the Police Federation to return to the negotiating table. Police officers called in sick for work early this week, signaling their disapproval of the government's wage offer. The government has maintained that given the fiscal constraints, the country has to stick to the terms and conditions of the economic reform program. The capacity of the Auditor and Contractor General's offices is being expanded to improve governance, accountability, and transparency. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller says this is part of our administration's work to enhance the efficiency, quality, and cost-effectiveness of the public sector.
The monitoring of budget-funded public bodies will be strengthened by enforcing the time limit for submission of the relevant public bodies' financial statements to the Auditor General. We are also bolstering the capacity within the Auditor General's office for more in-depth and frequent reviews of these statements. The Office of the Auditor General is to be strengthened, and the Office of the Contractor General is being given attention in terms of accepting and responding to its resource needs and mandate.
The Prime Minister was speaking on Tuesday at the opening ceremony for the International Conference on Strengthening Legislative Oversight for Fostering Accountability and Sustainable Growth. The June 2-4 conference was a joint effort of the Houses of Parliament, the World Bank, the IDB, UNDP, and Parliamericas. As government encourages Jamaicans to actively prepare for disasters, state agencies have begun to look at the national response mechanisms. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller chaired a meeting of the National Disaster Committee where stakeholders looked at disaster preparation measures to safeguard all Jamaicans in the event of natural disasters.
Since we cannot predict, we better be prepared. And it is in this spirit that I call the meeting so that all of us can get together and begin to discuss and to put the necessary plans in place just in case.
June is being observed as Disaster Preparedness Month. More than 1,000 healthcare workers island-wide are to be trained to help reduce maternal and child mortality. The Ministry of Health recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with American health organization Footprints Foundation to administer the training exercise. It will be delivered under the ministry's program for the reduction of maternal and child mortality, which receives external funding.
That is a grant from the European Union, 22 million euros, which is over 3.45 billion Jamaican dollars over the next 4 or 5 years. and that will significantly help us with Millennium Development Goals 4 and 5.
Goals 4 and 5 are all about reducing child mortality and improving the health of pregnant women. Full training for healthcare workers is to start in June, and it should improve newborn care and emergency obstetric care in 6 hospitals. That's 1 in each of the 4 health regions. These are in addition to the 2 specialist hospitals, the Victoria Jubilee Hospital and the Bustamante Hospital for Children. As experts predict continued growth for tourism well into the next decade, government is commending one major tourism player for its multi-million-dollar investment in the sector. Sandals Resorts International put $60 million into remodeling the Sandals Ochi Beach Resort, and Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has commended the company for it. Speaking at an opening ceremony Monday, Mrs. Simpson Miller pointed to world tourism predictions for 3.8% growth in the local sector up to 2020. And finally, the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA has partnered with the Press Association of Jamaica to launch an Environmental Journalism Award. It's in a bid to increase the reporting of environmental issues by local media.
I would also like to say to you all that the environment and managing the environment has a lot of news. And I sometimes am surprised that members of the media don't pick up on certain stories or track certain stories. To follow what is happening and to help to galvanize support through advocacy.
The involvement of and understanding of colleagues in the media is also very important in helping to just raise awareness.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Contractor, a trailer driver, no overload. Truck overload destroys our roads. I want to say, check your speed, check your state, make sure you're not overweight. Take the time to make it safe, even if you're little late. Some of the road they leany, sinky, twisty. Truck overload destroys our roads. So drive a heavy duty vehicle on the road or the bridge. Listen the message.
A message from the Island Traffic Authority and the National Road Maintenance Fund.
We said it earlier, but it bears repeating. Road safety is everybody's business. Up next, details of continuing work to increase awareness and encourage road users to wise up.
On Wednesday, the Jamaica Gasoline Retailers Association, JGRA, launched Road Safety Month 2015. The theme?
Road Safety for Life.
And it's even more important considering that from January to June 3 this year, 150 Jamaicans lost their lives due to road crashes. Excessive speeding continues to be one of the main factors.
When you are driving beyond the prescribed speed limit, your chances of reacting to any eventuality is greatly reduced. And so it is from that scientific perspective that we encourage all road users to stay within the prescribed speed limit.
All Jamaicans must take greater responsibility for road safety. Motorists, motorcyclists, pedestrians, children, the elderly, men and women must all take personal responsibility for their use of the roadways. At the same time, we must look out for others, especially persons with disabilities. If you notice as well, motorcyclists and pedal cyclists are traveling without the proper headgear to ensure their safety. This we need to look at as well, Minister, because I feel we're having too many accidents, and one head injury can create a serious challenge for an entire family. Too many pedestrians are crossing the road when it is unsafe to do so. Too many motorists continue to break the speed limit and to run the red light.
And so government is putting additional measures in place to help improve road safety.
Discussions are also taking place to utilize more electronic surveillance systems in order to curb speeding and the running of red lights.
Plus, the amended Road Traffic Act 2015 will be debated in Parliament later this month. It has stiffer penalties for those who breach the road code.
And one of the strange things is that many persons, in going through the amendments, have sought to signal why it costing so much. Why are they fined so much? The better question is, and more important, you don't have to pay those fines if you obey the rules. You don't have, these fines are not revenue measures. They are measures meant to increase the level of discipline on the road.
And for motorists who cause road crashes that damage public infrastructure, well, they will soon have to pay for the damage. A special unit in the National Works Agency will be going after the money.
Let me just indicate that I've received authorization from the Attorney General's chambers. And so when you crash and hit down the light pole or the road furniture, this is now going to be the first charge on your insurance.
So let us all be careful on the roads, obey the road signs, use pedestrian crossings, and follow the road code. Road safety can save lives.
When you use the road, you need to be aware of how your action affects others.
I go around the corner, only to see a man stopping on the big road, but some people are crossing on a blind corner.
When motorists have to stop on the green light to allow people to cross, it creates problems.
People just can't walk out on the road, so man. From a corner, from behind vehicle, they need to be more careful, man.
We have overhead bridges, pedestrian crossings, and crosswalks. Some of them even have signals to tell you when to cross.
People, walk on the sidewalk. If there is none, walk on the right side. And please, if you can't find a pedestrian crossing, make sure the road clear before you cross. Drivers need to drive good.
But pedestrians need to walk good too.
Walk good.
So the ultimate aim is for all road users to be careful when using the roadway, right? But let's be honest, things do happen. None of us likes the idea of being involved in or being a witness to a motor vehicle accident. But with auto insurance, you don't have to go it alone. Watch this and see what I mean.
Tires began to screech. A cacophony of horns could be heard howling some sort of warning. They were followed by a tirade of abuse and high-pitched rambling from drivers. Then, deafening silence. It was the unexpected, another motor vehicle accident that could transform lives into a huge tangled mess of despair. Luckily, there was a safety net: auto insurance.
Auto insurance is used to protect motorists against each other, as well as to protect themselves for damage to their vehicles or to their passengers.
And apart from the protection it provides, Paragraph 4, Section 1 of the Motor Vehicles Insurance Third-Party Risks Act states that it is illegal for any person to use a motor vehicle on the road unless a policy of insurance is in place. This will ensure that if a traffic accident occurs, the victims, motorists, pedestrians, and passengers have some form of compensation for their loss. There are three main types of insurance policies for motor vehicles.
There's third party only, which is the one that's required by law, and that's the one that covers the other guy. It covers your passengers and it covers everybody else on the road. Your vehicle is not covered and you, the driver, are not covered.
Third-party theft and fire offers added protection, ensuring that motorists are compensated if their vehicles are stolen or destroyed by fire.
And then you have comprehensive, which is everything rolled into one. So you're getting fire coverage for your vehicle, theft coverage for your vehicle, and collision coverage for your vehicle, as well as a protection against you accidentally hitting somebody else on the road.
Based on the type of insurance policy, a number of factors may determine one's premium, the sum of money paid out to the insurance company. Factors include the age and the type of vehicle, the age of the policyholder and the driver of the vehicle, or the claims history of the driver.
Somebody with a list of accidents behind their name is going to have a higher premium than somebody without one. So, as I said before, it's a case-by-case situation, and even though there's a general guideline that most insurers will follow in each insurance company, everybody is assessed individually.
The lesson in context: drive carefully. Now, there are other things you can do to lower the cost of your auto insurance. Shop around, compare premiums and benefits offered by insurance companies. Practice defensive driving, drive for yourself and others, and if possible, restrict the number of persons allowed to drive your vehicle. If you live alone, you can consider allowing yourself and a close family member or friend to drive your vehicle. Restriction will attract a lower premium as opposed to an open policy where anyone with your permission can drive the motor vehicle. Another thing you can do to lower your auto insurance is to suspend your policy if you will be off the island for an extended period of time. That's if no one else will be allowed to drive the vehicle. Discuss this with your insurance company, as there is usually some monetary benefit to this type of policy suspension. Installing a tracking device may also reduce your motor vehicle insurance premiums, but do the math. Ensure the tracking device bill isn't more expensive than the money you would save on the premium. You can also negotiate your deductible or excess to lower the insurance premium. A deductible is the amount of money a policyholder pays when there is an accident.
We have it there to avoid the minor fender benders. It would be uneconomical and administratively burdensome to deal with every single ding and dent at an insurance company. Also, we want the policyholder to have a stake in their vehicle.
So if a car values $2 million and the excess is 5% of the value of the vehicle, once the policyholder makes a claim on the insurance policy, he or she would have to contribute $100,000 towards the cost of repairing the vehicle. The excess is, however, refundable if another driver was at fault in the accident and your insurance company was able to settle with that driver's insurance company. To leave financial breathing room, one can also opt to pay their insurance premiums in parts, for example, twice a year. You may end up paying a little more, but at least your savings will not be severely depleted. Note, however, that if there is an accident, you may be required to pay off the premium upfront before you can claim on your policy. Now that we know some of the things we can do to lower the cost of auto insurance, let's turn our attention to what happens if there is an accident.
Take as many pictures as you can if possible on the scene of the accident. 2, get all the information for the other party as much as you can. That's name, who was driving, who owns the vehicle, again that's not always the same person, the type of vehicle, and any insurance details that you can get. Try and find a witness. Far too often we don't have enough claims where we have a witness statement, an independent witness. A passenger in your car doesn't count as an independent witness, especially when it's your husband or wife or brother or sister. Then go to the police and report it, and then you must report it to your insurance company.
So why does one's premium go up after an accident? Put it this way, experts say insurance is a pool of funds to which everybody has to contribute. If money from the pool has to be paid out, then the pool has to be readjusted to maintain its balance so that it can adequately compensate all contributors who may suffer a loss.
When you're in an accident and it's going to cost $1 million because somebody's injured and you have to fix the other guy's car, and your premium goes up by $10,000 or $20,000, you're still in the green $980,000. So don't look at it too much as a penalty of your premium going up, but of your contribution to the pool maintaining balance.
From January to June 2013, the motor vehicle insurance industry saw about 16,000 new claims and an increase in personal injury claims due to a change in culture and the legal system. So, auto insurance is there to compensate victims of traffic accidents. Drive carefully on the roads. Determine the best insurance policy, one that provides adequate coverage while attracting a reasonable premium.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe, and it helps their development process.
Turning our attention now to the small people. Activities to unleash their creative talent. That's our focus on today's edition of The Arts Page.
Feast your eyes on the artistic expressions of some of our nation's youth. Paintings, drawings, ceramics and crafts. This is the future of the Jamaican visual arts scene. Different manifestations of artistic stories expressing the thoughts, feelings and emotions of children.
Sing is my #1 favorite thing.
For the artistic ability to draw and paint, I think it's very fun. And I have lots of friends that come here.
Parents can take advantage of some visual arts programs offered on a weekend. Just one way of engaging children in an activity that's both helpful and fun.
They are more attracted to cartoons. So normally they would have stayed home and watched cartoons on a Saturday, or do some arbitrary thing. So we thought this would be a nice, structured exercise for them.
Children as young as 6 years old can participate in pottery, jewelry making, painting, drawing, and even photography. Classes usually start at 10 o'clock and end at 1 p.m.
They essentially learn about art, learn about using art techniques, and actually see examples all around them. Sometimes you can move the workshops to different parts of the gallery depending on what themes or the techniques that we're looking at. And I think that's probably the advantage of having a workshop here as opposed to the regular classroom.
We're sowing the seeds for their future endeavors. The expression of creativity can unlock so much. It is so satisfying for them. It's a lot of fun. They get to do it. They make new friends. They come with their friends. And I think they have a fantastic time. And of course, it's always a learning process.
I am here to learn and do a lot of things that if I grow up and I don't get a work, I know I can have a work here.
I'm here because I like to do art and I'm very creative. And I liked art since when I was like 2 years old.
I started coming here, I think from grade 6. And at first it was because of my mother and she kept forcing me to say it was a good thing. So I started coming here and I liked it. I like my teachers. I like what we were doing and I'm learning.
I love to come here because I met a lot of new people who I like to hang out with. We socialize together, work together, learn from each other different things. It's just like a big family.
Uncle Dwayne is my instructor. He instructs us the nice things and we love him. He's a nice instructor.
Then we take up the dirt. Then we move it over it and put it over the container. Move it over it a little bit. And then we have our spiral.
FUN. That's the word used to describe all the visual arts activities the children are involved in. And the reason? There's no pressure.
We do not look necessarily for talent. We are concerned with showing the children a different way of looking at things. Everybody has a right to express. Everybody has their own approach. Even though you can teach methods and techniques to them, but at the end of the day, it's really up to them. And we show them a lot of appreciation for what they've done, and it really does a lot to their confidence.
And if you're still not sold on the idea of giving your child the opportunity to uncover his or her inner artist,
it is free of cost. The materials are free, everything is free. The people the instructors are very competent. And just come and do your thing, and just experience art on a different level as opposed to just walking and standing in front of a painting.
Remember,
art is part of our daily lives. It interacts with everything that we do. And is there anything better? Really.
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
And that's it for this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for staying with us. As the weekend approaches, remember, cut your speed. Road safety begins with you. For more road safety tips and other useful information, visit jis.gov.jm or YouTube channel or other social media platforms. And be sure to join us again tomorrow on the station for another informative program. I'm Adrian Atkinson and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.